Good morning. This is Dawn Richardson here with you. It's the day after the U.S. elections, and it is November the 10th, the day before November the 11th, obviously, 2016, and we are moving rapidly into some significant shifts that will be occurring in the next 3 years. And I was guided this morning to return to the seeds for life that were given to me, planted in my heart really back in 1999, 2000, 2001, and which I resisted sharing for a long time, but finally released in ebook format in Cultivating Essence from the Matrix of Soul in 2012. And this body of work consists of 90 Seeds for Life that I now share through my 90 Days for Life. It's a 90-day program delivered via email and also accessible fully for lifetime online. And if you are interested in that, by the way, the price is going to remain at just $111 for the entire lifetime access to the entire program through the end of 2016. And you can find that on my website. So Cultivating Essence, it's also available, the core passages, which are a part of the 90 Days to Life, are available online as well. And so Cultivating Essence from the Matrix of Soul, as I said, was just completely, the core passages were completely just kind of planted in me, and I wrote them down, and just literally just kind of wrote exactly the words that were within me. So I suppose you can call that channeled. I've never been a big fan of that word, because I feel like it's first of all, everybody has access. It's just a matter of kind of tuning into your own soul's truth and radiance. So these core passages of Cultivating Essence were given to me, and I shared them in 2012. And I've been guided just very strongly to right now record and share with you, complete the introduction to the 90 Seeds to Life. And I really do feel that this can serve us. It's a shift that we have to make right now, and more and more and more think that, like it's a tower that's going to crumble, in terms of the external structures, and in terms of what the divisions that have been so dramatic, and the polls that are playing out all over the world, by the way, not just in the United States, but this is like, it's undeniable. Like, we are at a point where all of us have to take full responsibility for leading in love, leading the way of our lives in love, for standing in the center of our lives, and for bringing our full power and authority for our lives in love to the forefront. So essentially, that's what I believe this message is all about, and the 90 Seeds for Life provide an opportunity for us to make that shift. So that's my offering. There are many ways that we can support ourselves in this time in reconnecting to our whole selves and our soul selves. So without further ado, I want to share with you today the full introduction to Cultivating Essence from the Matrix of Soul, and my heart's desire is that it connect you in some way to you today. Here on earth, we move as tillers of a new era, rich in love. Rooted in the magical and the miraculous, we are simultaneously growing back toward the ground of being and reaching for the light within, and the light that is the source of that light. We are planted in this world not by accident. We are here by choice, each and every last one of us. We were chosen, and we chose. We come carrying seeds of essence, particular expressions of the infinite divine, meant to be scattered in the fertile atmosphere of this place and time. These seeds of promise within each one of us hold the potential for a new world, not constricted by the belt of reason, circumstance, or traditional belief, but rather expanded wholly by the gift of who we are. These seeds are meant to be shared, that they might take root and make a more beautiful world. as we ourselves are designed to be shared with one another, connected one to the other, and lifted in thanksgiving for this opportunity to return to the wholeness of who we once were and who we are becoming even now. Whether we successfully complete our intended journey will be determined by the choices we make on a daily basis, moment by moment. The roads we choose to follow every day lead us either in the direction of fulfilling the call to which we once said yes, or they take us farther away. Are we traveling in the way that leads us home? We come to this world as little babies, eyes closed, curled up, tiny toes wiggling. Tiny toes wiggling as we become accustomed to the feeling of our bodies. Innocent and pure, each one of us carries something vital and precious. Some of us know this from the beginning, others have forgotten. How we use the gifts we are given, the gift of who we are, is up to us. We have been given free will, and the choice of whether we use all of who we are and how we do so is ours alone. It is up to each of us. Whether we acknowledge it, whether we choose to nurture it, whether we keep it to ourselves or choose to throw open the whole of our life and loose it to the wind, these decisions will determine our common course. Now is the only time. This world affords us many opportunities to cover up the truth, to smother the seed and squander its gift. At every turn we may be tempted to hide from the light we bear. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to convince ourselves we have nothing of value to share. The question of who am I rattles around in our mind. It's tempting to set aside what we know we're here to do for a later time, for someday when we know more, when we have achieved some measure of success, when we feel ready or brave or healed. Now is the only time. Now, in our time, we must become like gardeners, nurturing and nourishing the treasure we carry in these jars of clay, tending daily to our soul's essence and allowing it to grow into its fullness. It is our responsibility and ours alone to choose to honor the unique, sacred gift within us and to breathe life into the tender mercies bestowed upon us. We must become a community of gardeners, following in the way of those among us who have learned already to live in this way. We must intentionally clear out the weeds within and prune overgrown branches. It is up to each one of us to ensure that the sacred seed within receives the space, sustenance, and sunlight it needs to grow, that it is protected from the storm so that it can take root. We must tend to the seeds of grace with patience for life's unfolding process and water them with our love. Only then will those precious gifts be seen and received by those who will recognize within us the message they most need to receive. Only then can we water the world. This is the moment of great turning. If we return to the care of our soul's essence and the unique expression of who we are, we may yet find redemption and grace unimagined. If we lose our footing, we may fall back into forgetfulness, and for a time, that sacred seed planted within will be lost to the world, waiting for its grace. The stakes are high. The time is ripe. We are the creators of a new society. Let me repeat that. We are the creators of a new society. An internal agrarian society that will lead to a civilization far more humane than that which we have created to date, as we have focused on building external systems, organizations, and structures. Start with everything you already have. Tend to and care for that which has been entrusted to you. Bring it into harmony with all that is. Riff on its singular magnificence and allow the music you are to awaken our world and all those who have come bearing their own song to amazing possibility. We are only at the beginning after all. Are you ready? Let's go. So that was the introduction to Cultivating Essence from the Matrix of Soul, also the introduction to the 90 Seeds for Life that I share in 90 Days to Life. And, just reading that again and connecting to it, and listening to the loud rooster in the background. I find it interesting that, I'm taking care of some chickens in these days, and that was scheduled to begin the day after the election. And so taking care of some chickens and 4 cats and a dog, and yeah, that feels very appropriate somehow, and at a place where there's, a real appreciation for sustainable living. And yeah, which is, I'm not a gardener. I'm not normally taking care of chickens. But you know what? How perfect is that? And the stakes are high. The time is right. And now is the only time. And are we going to do this, or are we not? Are we going to realize that we can't continue to put our faith and trust and stock in somebody else? Obviously we need to have a coalition and some sort of moving forward in some form of government. I'll leave that for another time. But the question is, are we going to show up fully as we are individually? Are we going to take full responsibility for how we are caring for what has been planted within each one of us? Here's what I'm here to share with you. Each one of us is a key. We are the key to the mystery that is being revealed right now. Each one of us comes bearing sacred seeds of essence, fine gifts of original design that only we can bring forward. Every single one of us, you, as you are, have something unique to offer. If you're not sure what that is, by the way, I do create soul gifts maps, and I love doing those, and I have recently drastically reduced the investment to be able to connect with one of those. It's $88, and I just offer the maps. I create the maps using my intuition and your answers to a few questions, and then you use that as a jumping off point to connect to your soul's truth and radiance, and then use that to create more and more and more from your soul's truth and radiance, and to really step into really bringing your soul gifts forward in the world. But here's the thing: we are the creators of our society, and to create a society that is representative of the light and the life and the love that we are, to be reflective of the truth and not an illusion that we're seeing right now, like this shadow being, magnified in such a vast way, and that serves a purpose. I actually probably believe that, no, not probably, I actually think that we have been given exactly what is needed for our growth. And we have a choice to make. Each and every single, not only American, each and every single human being on the face of the planet right now, in every moment, has a choice to make. Are we going to choose that internal agrarian society that will lead to a civilization far more humane than what we've created? And we're seeing what we've created. It's right here. And that creation is the result of fault lines. Once upon a time, we blamed somebody for what we didn't like that we felt or saw within us. That's one of the seeds for life. I forget which one, but it's in 90 Days to Life. And so here we are at the beginning, and there's an opportunity for us to return to our whole selves and our soul selves, to cultivate essence from the matrix of soul. We're not alone in this. We're not alone. We are all connected in a matrix of soul. We are all one beautiful family of God, in the way I look at it. And we each come bearing fine gifts of original design. You have a particular play of light to bring forward. You have an essential story of life to bring forward. You are a unique revolution of love that is meant to change this world, to bring it back, to contribute something of inestimable value to the full reclamation of who we are collectively, to the radiant realization of who we are collectively. So shine. This is your time to shine. So if you, like me, are feeling, any sorrow or a deep grief or an unspeakable, Maybe you're feeling angry, or maybe you're feeling like, yes, finally, somebody's gonna come in and, you know, shake things up and change the day. And, my hope is that good things do come from this, this turn that we are making. And I do trust that that will be the case. But my point is, wherever you are on the spectrum of emotional reaction to recent events, and globally as well, like, lots of things have happened globally, lots of the, obviously the things that are happening in the Middle East, the Brexit vote, the other things that are shifting with various governments around the world. I won't go into all of that. And with, excuse me, with the instability that we see everywhere, and the challenges with, basic human needs that are still going on in many places of the world. So start with what you have. Tend to and care for that which has been entrusted to you. Really get to know who you